First off, regarding my health, it's been very difficult these past 2 to 3 days. So much so that when I would record a video, I was just in such a bad state. I just ditched it, especially when I'm trying to cover topics that have more depth. So, man, I'm a bit. I feel dumb. I've not been in the best state of mind, but I had ear infection. In fact, I had ear infections in both ears. That's a symptom of high inflammation that was unfortunately triggered by the phage, and my eardrums will literally, if you look inside my ear, will just be pulsating with pain. I've had multiple doctors say I've never even seen it before in their life. It's just my whole body is just full of inflammation. It's led some doctors to speculate that I have something like fibromyalgia in addition to Crohn's. Still, severe Crohn's can pretty much cause anything. And to be frank, it really doesn't matter. I'm not trying to, win a record for most diseases. That would go to my mom, who had 6. So I don't think I'm going to beat that, firstly. And secondly, it doesn't matter because I know for a fact carnivore clears everything up. My protocol clears everything up. So, did I cover everything? Yeah, so my health has been rough. Nauseous, stomach pain, diarrhea. Partially the GI issues are due to quitting the kratom, which was unfortunately necessary with the extreme stomach pain I felt with the phages. Just as a quick recap. So, kind of in a mess of a situation. Still, dealing with benzo is just, it's something else. It's something else, unfortunately. But, I'm hoping that things will at least slowly get better over this week. And I can do things that are more enjoyable, like just very basic stuff like walking and reading and all that. So the topic I wanted to discuss on Sunday was my gratefulness for love, which but it led me to think to a deeper concept that I'm certainly not the first to say this, but I've discovered this myself. I truly try to not repeat, to be an acolyte of someone else. Just repeat someone wiser than me. I try to only speak about things I've come to myself. I mean, obviously, what I come to myself is an amalgamation of different people and viewpoints, etc. But it's something I've really thought out personally, not just copying anyone else. Because at this point, the internet is so vast, you can just straight up copy someone like nearly word for word, and a lot of times you could get away with it. I mean, there's just look at YouTube alone, and it's just there's so many people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and you would never know their name. Chances are. Okay, so all that being said, the great manipulation propaganda that they put on my generation in particular, things have gotten worse. I had a smartphone. Well, I didn't have one until my senior year, but people were getting smartphones basically when I was in high school. And so I had a different upbringing than those younger than me. It's much worse. But as I said, the psyop manipulation is the scientific viewpoint. And science is great when it's done properly. I claim science is fake, as somewhat of a clickbaity title, because it's true and it's not true. Because when you look at half a study, scientific studies are not replicable, and you see blatantly that they're used for propaganda over and over, I say science is fake. And there's more truth to that than science is true. But of course science is true, and of course it's been insanely helpful. I would never deride true science for a second. However, there's much, much more to this world than a purely scientific viewpoint. And what they pushed on us is that's not true. These metaphysical concepts, religion, etc., are outdated. Look, we've moved past, we've progressed, etc. Now you're free. You know, we had this control of religions and all this stuff, and now you know, you can just do whatever you want, be whoever you want. There's no confines, and look at what is happening. It's working out fantastic, correct? Well, let me tell you why it's not working out fantastically. There is the metaphysical is more real than the physical. Understand? You can break anything down to the lowest part possible, to the cell, to the atom. You know, you could say a fetus is a clump of cells, or you could say that that's a human being. You could say love is a biochemical reaction. It's like, oh, I'm in love. This is scary. I gotta prevent this. This is bad. Or you can think that it's something from God that is so real that you would do anything for someone that you love. You would cut off your arm. Is that the scientific to cut off your arm for something that technically doesn't exist? I know there's a strong argument for it, and I know I'm not making the best argument against it. It's truly something that you need to experience, and though I'm definitely not a fan of psychedelics and would not advocate it, at least the most important thing that people do learn from psychedelics, so they can actually easily push people the wrong way, is that there is something far beyond scientific reality of what you see. That's very, very blatant when you are on a psychedelic trip of any capacity. You know, well, moderate to high capacity. Very, very blatant. And but you don't need to shock your brain and through all that to learn that what is metaphysical is what being human is. We indeed do have souls. Try living without one, see what happens. Try to go against biology, see what happens. The biology that God gave us. Right? Not right? Like, be an animal. Because that's really what the scientific method leads to. Nihilism. And to be frank, you become more like an animal. It's like the only difference is that within this philosophy is like, as long as I'm not harming others, which you are harming others, but if you have consent of others, etc., it's fine, and that's a horrible way to live. If you do something that's clearly a sin, like watching pornography, that's clearly evil and bad, no, that's completely fine. Like that's the scientific view, you know. And see, that's just the best way to do it, because even points I mentioned, it's like, okay, pornography, it's like a drug. It messes up your dopamine system, so you could say that is why it's bad. But if you just spend some time in solace and realize truly like who you are and the power of humans, and explore alternative perspectives, the metaphysical will start to click within you, and you'll realize it's so that this, just relying on a scientific perspective is absolutely ridiculous. It's ignoring not only half of what's going on, more than half. It's ignoring the most vital parts. It's ignoring humanity in general. And it leads to nihilism. It leads to all this friction. It leads to just anxiety, depression, general insanity, like suicide, self-deletion. You can't say that word on YouTube. And we're going to see, too, it's just going to get worse with things like SEX, robots, and in the near future. And it's just like, yeah, go and have sex with a robot. Um, yeah, I know I spelled out and then said it. I'm retarded. I don't know how to do a video. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that and see what happens. See if you feel that deep down in your soul. Like that's the key to understanding the metaphysical is it you will realize if you do these things and take it and progress and progress and progress, your soul is gonna darken like the picture of Dorian Gray. So I hope someone explained that point. It's really something that needs to be felt, and I need to get better at explaining these things. Hopefully my health will get better. Um, I may have jumped around. I think I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the beginning. Again, benzo withdrawal. I made a mistake, right? Unfortunately, with the ear infection, I didn't address this. I put antibiotics in my ear, and I forgot that can affect the urine test. That is systematic. It truly doesn't seem systematic. You just put in your ear for 5 minutes, dump it out. But of course, right before I was supposed to do a test, I'm like, wait a minute, this could be a problem. I actually remember years and years ago reading about that these eardrops do affect the gut, etc. And I'm not quite sure if it do a urine test, but we have to be safe with something like this. Therefore, instead of doing the urine test tomorrow, I'm really gonna end up probably doing it Monday, which sucks. Just I thought I had made it without getting the UTI, and now looks like there's more space. Though if I get clear of UTI symptoms, I'll just send off the urine then, and again I'll be consulting with my doctor about all this stuff. So and very horrible bladder pain yesterday. It lasted the day before like nothing. Day before that horrible. Yesterday, horrific bladder pain. I would get 2 hours of breaks at a time, but then it would just keep coming back and for 3 to 4 hours. And at first it was burning, then towards the end of the day it was this sharp pulsating pain. So very, very weird illness. And that was despite megadosing aloe vera, using herba ursi, etc. But today things feel better, and I'm hoping that it stays that way. So much love. I'm getting through it. Try my best. Take care.